Did we choose to be here? This is a very, very important question. And each and every person should actually try to answer this question themselves. Ask yourself if you actually chose to be here. I have asked myself if I did choose to be here, and I'm 100% sure that I didn't choose to be here. In fact, I know that I didn't choose to be here. And we all know that if you are brought into a place that you didn't ask to be brought into, and you do not know how to escape that place, and you find yourself suffering, that is not a good place for you. We know that. We all can agree as a collective, unless maybe you are insane, right? Unless you're insane, and they put you in a room, they don't allow you to go out. You start banging on the door, whatever, you're suffering but still, the right thing for the people who will have taken you into that room to do is to explain to you what is actually going on, right? They should explain to you what you've done, and that's why they put you there. Like, that will be the right thing to do. And no one is explaining anything to us. No one is telling us what we did to deserve to be, here. So if no one is explaining anything to us, we're just here and we don't understand what's going on. It's very logical to think that this isn't a good place for us, because we didn't choose to be here. I've asked myself this question so many times until I got the right answer to this question. I've asked myself this question so many, this is one of the questions that I would think about a lot, especially when I was exploring the philosophy of antinatalism. If you don't know anything about antinatalism is a philosophy that assigns negative value to birth. And antinatalists would say, hey, I was brought here without my consent. I didn't choose to be brought into this world. Because of that, I don't think it's ethical for me to bring another person into this world, because I think consent is important. Whether there's suffering or not, whether some people are successful or not, whether some people think this realm is good or not, I still don't think it is a good idea to bring someone into existence if I can't get consent from them. It doesn't matter how some people view this realm. Some people may think that we're having a positive experience, but what I've realized is that most people don't really think for themselves. And not only do they not think for themselves, they're not even honest with themselves. They're not gonna, tell people how they really feel. They try their best to be positive. So I don't really think that we're having a positive experience. That's what an internationalist would say. So some people will be like, okay, but what if we did choose to be here and we just forgot that we chose to be here? That's why I would, always be thinking about, that. Like, oh, did I actually choose to be here? What if I did choose to be here and forgot that I chose to be here? But I finally got an answer. I knew for a long time that I didn't choose to be here, but I'll explain to y'all why it's not possible for anyone to have chosen to be here. And one of the reasons why I've decided to make this video is because some people, whenever I make a video and I mention that we didn't choose to be here, they'll be like, oh, how do you know? How do you know? I know. I always tell people that to get to the truth, you need to be a thinker. It's only through philosophy that we can get to the truth. It's not even through experience, it's through philosophy. Like, you need to think as logically as possible. That's how you get to the truth. Today I was watching the first episode of season 2 one of my favorite TV series, Severance. Very brilliant TV series. Look, if you haven't watched it and you watch my videos, you have to watch it. You have to. You will. Like you start to understand some things that you already understood, but in a way that's much deeper, right? You'll understand a lot of things about the world, about morality, you know what I mean, about what's possible, right? So watch it, I'm telling you. But if you haven't watched it, I'm going to tell you what it's about. I'm going to try my best not to spoil it for you. So in this series, they have technology that allows them to split a person's memory, right? Person's memory. So I mean, everyone hates working, right? Imagine if it was possible that when you wake up in the morning, you bath and you go to work, and you enter, you know, the place where you work, you forget everything, and you just come out without, like, you don't remember waking. Like, as soon as you enter, you come out. Like, in your direct experience, you enter and then you come out. You enter at 8, you come out at 4. That's it. Like, you to you, time, it will be like someone pressed pause and then press play again, something like that. Or they fast forwarded your life, but you didn't experience anything during that period when they were fast forwarding your life. So it seemed instantaneous to you. So you enter and then you go out. Imagine how great life would be. You wake up, you go and you go to where you work, you enter and then you leave. You don't remember waking, you don't remember having any problem with your coworkers. But because they split your memories, or let me say they split your consciousness in half. Let me say consciousness, not even memory, but even that still applies because you don't remember what happens at work. But they split your consciousness in half. So what happens is, when you enter your workplace, you only remember, like, the other part of your consciousness only remembers what happens when you are at work. So when you go out, you go back in again. Right? When you go out, you go back in again. Your life revolves around work. So what will happen is that some of the people who work there, and there's this company that people worked for, they didn't know what they do in that company, because when they will enter the company, they will not remember what happens there. Yeah. So this is what the series is about, really. The people, when you are outside, they call you an outie, right? When you are experiencing life outside, they call you an outie. When you are inside, they call you an aint. So the aints will actually complain and say they are bored because they don't know where they come from. They don't know if they are married outside. They don't know if they have children outside. And work is boring, you know. They'll be rewarded with beers. Like, when they work hard, maybe they'll give them something, like maybe a sweet, you know, because they don't know that the world outside is rich. They can get these things that they are being given without really having to do much. They will be very happy. They would appreciate the small things that they are getting because they don't know how the world is outside. They started to rebel once this lady was brought in. I forgot what her name was. But from the beginning, she didn't like the place. She tried to escape. She tried to end, you know. What was funny was when they showed her a video of herself telling herself shit. Like, why would you try to hurt my body? If you do something to my body, yeah, you're going to suffer forever. I'm going to keep you stuck there forever, bro. And she'll be surprised. Can you imagine? So the vision of her outside was mad that she tried to unalive herself. I mean, she tried to communicate because she thought that she would never choose to be in that place. So she tried to communicate with herself, and they showed her a video of her communicating with herself. That no, you actually chose to be. You listen to yourself talking. It's you. This is not AI generated or anything. This is you. So would you say that she actually chose to be there? Let's do real philosophy now. Did she choose to be there? She doesn't remember anything that happens outside at all. She only just remembers waking up. They ask her what her name is. She only remembers the name that they give her. And that's it. She doesn't remember anything. She doesn't remember choosing to be there. Would you say that she chose to be there? Remember, she's a new person. See, her personality is different from her personality when she's at home. Like her personality at work is different from her personality when she's at home because she's learning, right? She's learning. She's trying to learn about life because she's new. She's learning new words. She's meeting new people. She's having her own experiences. So of course she's not going to be the way that she is when she's outside. Would you say that she chose to be there? Let's do real philosophy here. I think you know the answer. No, she didn't. See, to make a choice to do something, you know why you're making that choice. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say I choose to go and live in Zimbabwe. I mean, I will never choose to live in Zimbabwe, but let's just say there was a reason why I wanted to live in Zimbabwe. So I chose to go and live in Zimbabwe. But then something happened. Maybe I became sick and lost my memories about my past. I don't know why I'm in Zimbabwe. Did I choose to be in Zimbabwe? You can say, yeah, obviously you did choose to be in Zimbabwe. You're like, no, I'm a new person. I'm no longer the person that I was. Right? So, because I'm no longer the person that I was, I didn't choose. It's like if you make a clone of yourself. Let's just say the technology that allows us to make clones of ourselves. If you make a clone of yourself, and then that clone goes and experiences life from like their own perspective, they don't know, like they don't even have your memories. You cannot say that clone chose to be cloned, right? You cannot say that clone chose to be cloned. You are not your clone. You are experiencing life separately from your clone. So your clone didn't choose to be cloned. So once you lose your memories, you are no longer the same person that you were. You become a totally different person. So that person that you become didn't make the choices that you've made. That's why one of the movies that, and not the movie, man, this episode of Black Mirror, White Bear, like every time when I watch that episode, I become very, very scared. I've already told you about it so many times. It's about this lady, her and a boyfriend unalived a kid and buried that kid. They had the technology that allowed them to remove her memories. And she would wake up in a house not knowing what happened, and she would go outside and some people would start chasing her with pew pew. And there'll be people who will be recording her with their cell phone, with their cell phones, and she would ask for their help and they wouldn't say anything. They'll just continue to record her. The reason why they'll do that is because when a boyfriend was burying that kid, she was recording. And then there'll be some people who pretend to be on her side and they'll say, oh yeah, the reason why these people are like this is because there's a pole. This pole is making them behave like this. So we need to go to where the pole is and then, try to disrupt the signal or something, and they'll be fine. And then when they get there, it will be revealed to her that no, actually you're being punished. Everyone else knows what is going on. You and your boyfriend did this, so this is your punishment. The wipe of emotions. Like, are they really punishing her? Are they punishing the vision of her that did that? Like, once you forget why you are being punished, they're not even punishing you. Like, what is the point? What are you even? What's the point of punishing you? Are they even punishing you because that's the right thing to do, to punish you, or they're just being evil and they found a way to justify being evil? Because we don't remember why we are here. We don't remember choosing to be here. I mean, I don't remember being in another world, in another realm, in another reality. I don't even remember being born. I don't even remember the first day I was conscious. It's like I was conscious, I don't know, the whole time. But I became more and more present. Right, I became more and more present. I started to take things more seriously. Like, when I was younger, I didn't take a lot of things seriously. Even death wasn't a big deal to me. If they say someone has died, it wasn't a big deal. It meant nothing to me. You know, I'll get sick. I remember when I was 8, I had this worm here. Like, I used to play with dogs a lot, so there were these worms that will, you know, I don't know why dogs back then, they had these worms. It was weird. So I would play with these dogs, and somehow the worm got inside me. So, I had this big worm. I couldn't even walk well, but I don't remember stressing. Like, if it was now, I would be stressing 24/7. I wouldn't even stress until the worm came out itself, and it was big. It was like this. It was big, and it was alive. For me, it wasn't a big deal. I just didn't care. Like, I went through a lot when I was young. You know, we used to swim in dirty water. We didn't care. We just didn't care about anything. We went, like, we didn't care. Like, we just didn't care. Our parents would tell us, hey, don't go to this place. Hey, they will shoot you. Hey, this will happen. We just didn't care. But as I became more and more present, I became more attached to the things of this realm, right? I wanted to win, do better than other people. I wanted to be attached to other people. Back then, if a girl doesn't like you, it wasn't a problem. You know, even if she liked you at some point and stopped liking you, it wasn't a problem. Now, it takes time for you to heal. You know, now it takes time for you to heal because we're now too attached. We became too present. Like, we started to identify with this realm. But the point that I'm trying to make is that I don't remember choosing to be here. So the consciousness that might have made a choice for me to have this experience is in the same type. I mean, you can still say it's the same kind of consciousness, but it's in a different form, right? Because now it's very limited. So you cannot really say that I'm the one who chose to come and have this experience. You know, so I do have every right to say I didn't choose to be here because I didn't. You know, if this was the kind of consciousness that was given the power to make a choice to be here, it wouldn't make the choice to be here. Just like there are aints in this TV series that I'm telling you about, like especially that lady that was rebelling. She even got outside. And she didn't want to be in that place. But in season 2, she went to that place. I'll explain why she went to that place and didn't leave. It was because they were trying to figure out what the whole thing was. And they were also given this, they were also told that they can leave, right? They can actually leave. So it is different. Like, they can leave at any time. They're free. But they fought to be free. They try to expose the company. I've only watched the first episode, so I'm still trying to figure out what's actually going on. But if you don't remember choosing to be in a place, you are not the one who made the choice to be in that place. And another thing that we must realize is that it's not like we know that there was like our higher self chose to be here. I'm just trying to show people who feel like their higher self chose for them to be here that even that doesn't really make sense, because you are not your higher self. Even if you are connected to your higher self, you're not your higher self. If some scientists created a simulation and people chose to be in that simulation, but their memories got wiped once they entered that simulation, the vision of them that experiences what it's like being in that simulation didn't choose to be in that simulation. So they didn't choose to be in that simulation. They would have chosen to be in that simulation if they still remember this world, they still remember why they chose to be in that simulation, right? They will still be the one it will be the same. I'll use the word ego. It will be the same ego that chose to have an experience in that simulation. So you can't say you chose to be here if you don't remember choosing to be here. I know a lot of people in New Age spirituality say, yeah, we chose to be here. Till Swan, she's one of my favorite, by the way. She's very intelligent. Like, yeah, you chose to be here. You chose these. You chose your parents. You chose where you're gonna be born. You chose your race, your height, everything. You knew exactly what was going on here. You chose to be like, okay, fine, I chose to be here, but why don't I even remember? Isn't it important for me to remember that I chose to be here? Why? What's the point of this memory wipe thing? Because that's what's making this experience hellish. If I chose to be here and I know exactly why I chose to be here, that's great. I will know exactly what I need to be doing. It's like the oracle and I mean, remember the Oracle said this in one of the Matrix movies to Neo, that you didn't come here to make a choice, you came here to remember why you made a choice, but we don't get to remember why we made any choice. Like if we chose to come here, like why? We don't, it's not like we, as we get older, we start to remember. We look at our experiences and be like, okay, maybe I came here to do this. Maybe this is my mission, blah, blah. Like, no, we just make shit up. I've already told you that the way things work in this world, it's actually very logical when you look at the way things work in this world to think of to think of this whole thing as some kind of an experiment. Because you know that if we want to experiment on rats, for an example, it's not like we ask for their consent. It's not like we care about their well-being like that. We don't. We just perform experiments on them and be like, yeah, you know, rats, when they're like this, they behave that way and their way. That's it. Wouldn't that explain why sometimes some people say they've seen UFOs and they don't say anything to us, don't talk to us. They know, like aliens come out of these UFOs and tell us that, hey, look, man, we're sorry that you're going through this and that. Yeah, we created you, and you're suffering because of this and that. You know, no one is explaining anything to us. We're just here, you know, pretending to know what's going on, and we are suffering. Let's not lie to ourselves. Sentient beings are suffering, not just humans. All sentient beings, all animals that can feel, all animals that can think. You know, there's so much suffering in this realm. So it's much more logical to think that someone is performing an experiment than to think you chose to be here. I mean, what's the reason? You think where you're from is so damn boring that you would choose this. Like, it's so damn boring. You're like, yeah, let me just go to Earth and see what it has for me. I mean, yeah, we do make bad choices even here. We do get into bad relationships, and we regret getting into these relationships. So if it was possible to forget, let's just say you make a choice today and then you forget why you made a choice the next day. So you choose to get married today and you forget why you chose to be married. You think I ain't choose to marry this person. I ain't choose to marry this asshole when things are not going well. That's true. But again, you will still not be the same person, right? You will still not be the same person. And one of the questions that you also need to ask yourself is why you forget. Why you forget? Why you do not remember? I mean, you don't even choose your dreams before you sleep. Like, oh, this is the dream that I'm about to have. And you just forget that you're dreaming when you're dreaming until you wake up. Like, there's something that's just off with this reality. You know, if we're having a positive experience, I do think we would need to remember some things. Because why should we not remember? Are we more effective when we do not remember anything at all? When we are fighting because we don't know what religion to believe in? People are fighting, hate one another. My religion is true. Your religion is not true. Christians saying, I'll never date a Muslim, or I'll never date an atheist. My religion is true. You're raised in a religious household. Your parents do not treat you well because they are religious. You know, you are a very conscious kid. You already know that it's BS. But your parents don't know that. So they raising you the way that they were taught to raise you. And when you tell them that, hey, you don't want to be raised like that, they feel like you have demons and they torture you, not even realizing that they're torturing you. You know, force you to go to church, force you to listen to your pastor, force you to live by Christian morals. You're like, I'm not a Christian. I'm not like you. I'm not convinced. I'm not arrogant. I'm just not convinced. Like, I need to be convinced first. This doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't think that you have thought about it clearly. You know, so I can't trust you. If I felt like you were more intelligent than me and you think more deeply than me, maybe I'll trust you. Maybe I'll just think that, okay, maybe my eyes are not open yet. Maybe my eyes are not open yet. But no, you don't seem to be able to think for yourself. When I ask you questions, you're not able to answer these questions. Like when I ask you questions that you should be able to answer, if you believe in the religion that you believe in, you know, you're unable to answer. You're unable to convince me that you are a sane person who actually gave themselves time to discover the truth. You're failing to convince me that you are a sane person who gave themselves time to find out what the truth is. So why should I trust you? You know, I'm genuinely looking for the truth. To me, it's not about comfort. I'm strong enough to actually reject nonsense, even if that nonsense makes me feel good, right? Like, I want the truth. Even if truth is going to hurt me, I still want it. I'm strong enough to handle the truth. So maybe you're not. Maybe if you started doing what I'm doing, maybe you wouldn't be able to survive. Maybe you become very depressed. But me, I'm strong. I can handle the truth. You know how many people have suffered because they were raised by religious parents? You know how many wars have been fought because of religion? How many people have been judged? You know, their quality of life was really, really bad because maybe they live in a country where people were very religious, in a village where people were very religious, so they were judged a lot for being themselves. And why are we not told what is true? And what's the point of these religions? I mean, if there weren't religions, that would be better. Maybe, they would tell us that, hey, look, you shouldn't believe in any God. All religions are crap. Maybe that would be better, so that we will try to figure out how to live as a collective. Because religion really does make things worse. Because we don't need to think rationally, you see. So chances are we're not going to make the right choices. If some people are talking to their imaginary friend and they say, my imaginary friend is saying that we must live this way, and anyone who doesn't live this way is bad and they should be judged. You're like, what? And then they find enough people to follow them, and then they have this powerful religion that is based on hatred. But that seems like it's not based on hatred. Why would anyone choose to be here? if we chose to be here, maybe our higher self is selfish. Maybe your higher self is just selfish. Just like in this TV series Severance, right? Because those who choose to get their consciousness severed are those who are lazy. They don't want to work. They don't want to experience what it's like being at work. They didn't choose for their eyes to be to work for them for a good reason, really. It was to avoid working, basically. So they don't want to work. So that's that's selfish, because their eyes will have to work, but they don't have to experience that. But their eyes are conscious. They feel everything. They're confused there. They're not they don't remember their lives at home. Maybe they will feel like they had connection outside, like maybe they were married, maybe they had friends, maybe they had a life outside, maybe they were famous outside, maybe they made great music, maybe they were interested in art. They don't remember any of that. They're just stuck in that building, in that hell. How can we say losing our memory is a good thing? You might say, okay, what if all of this is not real? What if all of this is an illusion? Isn't it good that you don't know that it's an illusion? Just like when you're in a dream, isn't it good that you don't know that you're dreaming? I would say it would be good if I'm having a positive experience. I mean, think about it. If for example, you enter a simulation, right? And in that simulation, you are being tortured 24/7. Is it good for you to not know that you're in a simulation? Like, you need to know that it's a simulation so that you'll be set free. You'll be like, okay, this sucks. So, yeah, if this sucks, then it's not good that I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's real. I don't know anything. But if it didn't suck, then it will be perfect. Because I'll be having all the fun, bruh. Things will be working. I wouldn't even be thinking about what I am, where I come from. It wouldn't even matter. I'll just be having fun, bro. I'll be swimming right now. I'll be in Cape Town, in the beach, swimming, having fun. You know what I mean? After that, I'll be going to Nigeria. Probably wouldn't go to Nigeria. I'll be going to UK. Meet some people, get to know them. Like, hey, I know, have conversations with them. Feeling like the whole thing is real. After that, I go and sleep in this nice hotel, eat great food. It ought to be. But if life sucks and it's not real, and you don't know that it's not real, it's hell. It would have been created for it to be hellish. Because what really is the point? When people are suffering, when 90% of people are actually suffering, and 90% of the people would say they wouldn't want to repeat their lives. Because honestly, man, if you were to ask people, like, if they wanted to repeat their lives, most people would say no. Like, if they not that they can do things differently, not to go back in time knowing what they know. No. Repeat their lives. Like, literally, they go through these things that they went through. Every heartbreak that they've ever went through. If they lost their parents when they were young, they'll have to go through that again. If they were sick when they were young, they'll have to go through that again. If they were involved in a car accident at some point and it took them 3 years to recover, they will have to go through that. People will be like, hell to the no. No. Like, they will say, they will choose non-existence over experiencing this life again, because it was bad. It was bad for many people. So, how can people choose to come and experience this? You can say, maybe they just thought it would work out. They just look at it as a challenge, and they thought that they would be happy, and maybe they didn't know everything. Even now, we do get into relationships without knowing everything. Even now, we do work for companies without knowing everything. Even now, we do go and live in countries without knowing anything, or not knowing much. You just tell yourself that I want to go and live in this country because maybe I'm going to be living closer to this place and I want to be in this place, whatever. I want to go and live in Cape Town because I want to go to the beach. But you don't know how things are in Cape Town. You don't know how people live in Cape Town. You don't know if there are no criminals that are always robbing people in Cape Town. You don't know. Yes, that is possible. But the problem is that you forgot if you did make the choice to be here. So you didn't. That's the problem. So it is logical to think we didn't make the choice to be brought into this world. And again, the reason why I'm approaching it from this angle, I'm just being generous. Because people, say, oh, you don't know if you chose to be here. No one knows, blah, blah, blah. Like, nothing tells us that we chose to be here. You understand? Nothing tells us. Meaning that it is actually illogical to even think that your higher self chose for you to be here. It's actually illogical. It's more logical to think you just brought here without your consent, because that is what is true in your direct experience. That you just were born, and that's it. You didn't consent to being born. And even if you don't want to believe that you were born, let's just say you look at this as a dream. You didn't choose this dream. You don't remember choosing this dream. And you also know that you do have dreams when you sleep, and you don't remember choosing these dreams. Some people might say, oh, maybe you do even choose your dreams. And because time doesn't even exist, you are able to make a choice without even knowing, like you're making the choice. So you go into this place, maybe you go into what do they call it? Is it limbo? Whatever. So when you are there, you are able to choose your dream. You are able to choose a dream where you are being chased by a lion that is as big as an elephant, and you run, but you can't run fast, and you scream, and then you wake up like this. You choose that. Like, why? Why would you choose that? What do you benefit? Some people might say, okay, why would you choose to watch a horror movie knowing that it will scare you? And that's a very good question. Perhaps because it's just a movie and it's not real and it's entertaining. And after watching it, you'll still be like, yeah, that was a good movie. Like, there's some horror movies that I watched that I'll be like, that's a good movie. But the dreams where I'm being chased by, like, I already know how it's going to be. Like, even with movies, of course, you're not going to really know before watching a movie how it's going to be. So you could choose a bad movie, and then when you're watching it, you're like, okay, that movie really sucked. But if you can have a dream where you're being chased by a lion, you know that it's gonna be bad. Like, in fact, there isn't a nightmare that has been good. Like, no one wants to have a nightmare. I've never had a nightmare where I was like, that I woke up from and I was like, I want to experience that again. But I've watched movies that I was like, yeah, I gotta watch that again. So that means I would never choose to have a nightmare. In fact, if I was able to choose my dreams, don't you think I would choose dreams that, because this sucks, don't you think I would choose dreams that I actually enjoy? Because why not? Why choose horrible dreams? Why choose dreams where I'm being constantly disappointed? Why not choose dreams where at least I'm getting a break? Like, all the time I'm experiencing good things when I'm sleeping. Then I come back to what feels to be the real world and deal with the challenges that comes with, being born in this kind of realm. So I say in the series Severance, a lot of things that we go through in this realm, like, really happen. You find that people are asking questions. They ask themselves, what is this place? There are people who control the place who don't give them answers. There are therapists there who, tell them that, who ask them questions, ask them if they got problems, if they have weird dreams, and make them believe that there's something wrong with them if they are asking the right kind of questions. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same as what's actually going on in this realm. It's the same thing. People are confused. Just that in this realm, a lot is happening. A lot is happening. The world seems big. You can go and live anywhere. You can have, I wouldn't say you can have any job, but there seem to be many jobs. So if you try hard enough, you study, maybe you can have the kind of job that you want. There seem to be many people, right? So you can interact with many people. But even though there seem to be a lot of things, I think we don't experience a lot, right? Like there's many countries in this world, but how many countries have you visited? I've never been outside of South Africa. I've never been to that many provinces here in South Africa. I'm from Limpopo. I've only been to Mpumalanga and Gauteng and Eastern Cape. It's three provinces. Well, I would say 4 provinces, including the province that I'm from. And I've even been to many places even in Limpopo. I grew up in a village. I would only go to town when I wanted to buy things. There's another place called Toyando, where another tribe lives, Venda tribe. But I haven't been to that many places. I haven't interacted with that many people. There's people everywhere, but I haven't interacted with that many people. Sometimes I do ask myself if we're not supposed to be in some places. We're just supposed to believe that these places are there, but we're not supposed to be there because they're not. All right. I don't want to say they're not real, but isn't it weird that it's not easy for humans to travel to many different, because we're not even capable of leaving this planet. We're told that there are other planets out there. We can't even go to the moon, bruh. Doesn't that make you a bit suspicious? Like there seem to be a lot, but we experience less. Like we're very limited. If you don't have money, it's like being in a prison. It's like window shopping, basically. It's like you see all the things that you want, but you can never have these things. You can never have friends. Nobody wants to be your friends, except for people who are broke. And when they start making money, they forget about you. Can't be in a relationship. You don't dress well. You got no swag, so no one wants to be with you. You can't travel. You can't like you just stuck. You're stuck. You don't really experience much. Who would choose to come here and just window shop for 6 years? You never get to experience anything, because there's some people who've just suffered, bro. They've suffered in almost every way possible, but they haven't enjoyed this. So they just suffered. They know what it's like to be alone their whole lives. Like, that is suffering. They know what it's like to not be taken seriously. That is suffering. They know what it's like to not have friends. That is suffering. They know what it's like to be hated by their parents. That is suffering. They know what it's like to be poor. That is suffering. They know what it's like to have nothing. That is suffering. They know what it's like to be homeless. That is suffering. They know what it's like to be, but they don't know what it's like to have a partner and be loved genuinely. They don't know what that is like. They don't know what it's like to, have a place that is nice to live in. They don't know what that is like. They don't know what it's like to have friends, to have great relationship. They don't know what it's like to be understood. They just come on, who would choose that? You might say, oh, maybe it has to do with them, because they'll look at it. Some people might look at life as a game, be like, yeah, well, it's a game, so someday it has to be winners, there has to be losers. The last UFC event, Umar Magomedov lost. He got his first loss. What's the name of the guy that beat him? That guy is a beast. I forgot him. I forgot his name. I don't know how I forgot his name. But right, it's competition. There has to be winners. There has to be losers. But what you must remember about life is that people ain't equal. Some people, you'd see that they didn't really have a choice. It's like the whole world was against them for real. But to become a fighter, you'd look at yourself and be like, yeah, I think I'm healthy enough. I have a passion for fighting. Okay, there's a place where I can train. Okay, there's this and that, and then you go and train. You made a decision based on what you are capable of. But in this realm, there's some people that you see that they can't really survive. You know what I mean? Some people get sick when they're still young and just die. Someone dies before they even play this game. So we can't say people chose to be here. Because the people who are saying that people chose to be here, they're also saying we chose the kind of experiences that we're going to have. Like we knew what we'll go through. If you get sick when you're 45, you are diagnosed with a terminal illness, you knew that you're going to have a terminal illness. If you were going to get sick at age 5 and become blind, you knew that was going to happen. If you're going to get aped at age 10 by someone who's much older than you, you knew that was, you know what I mean? Like, no, that's like, nah, we are actually sick to even think that. Because people never forget these experiences and they're affected their whole life. They're just triggered, they are not even able to function. So how can we say people chose this? There are a lot of things that happen that you just say that, nah, this is just nonsense, bruh. No soul will be thinking of choosing or being here. No soul will choose to be here. But what I do like is that someone like me who makes videos every day talking about how much this sucks. If my higher self did choose for me to be here, he's like, yeah, this guy really doesn't like it. Maybe I did fuck up, because I'm making videos every day, talking about how much I do not like being here. I've created a community where, we talk about how much we don't like being here. I think about how much I don't like being here. Like every day. And I think that's actually important. I think to truly escape this realm, you must not have a desire to be in it. Like your desire to be in this realm must die while you're still here. Right? Like that's what you must actually be working on. Like your desire to be in this realm must die while you're still here. Because there are a lot of things that are just wrong with this realm. So that there will be, like, no matter what, you'll not be manipulated, Like, no matter what they say to you, be like, nah. You can love bomb me all you want, I'm done. You can tell me, how much you love me, and how gifted I am, and how many people I can help if I go back. Nah, choose another one. I ain't helping nobody. I'm gonna be selfish now. I'm gonna be selfish. No, I ain't helping nobody. People don't understand shit anyway. Why do I gotta be helping people right now? Like, I'm just gonna do my own thing, try to free myself. It seems to me that that's my life is gonna be like, I'm gonna have peace when I live like that, because people turn against you when you truly care. People will punish you for caring. People will punish you for being right. This is how messed up this realm is. People will actually punish you for being right because everything is upside down. So now, how the heck am I going to free anyone? Nah, I ain't going back there, man. I ain't going back there. Yeah, I'll be talking to my ass off like that. Like, nah, man, you made a mistake, bro. I ain't mad at you, but you can make it all up to me by making sure I ain't going back to that place. Right? I mean, I did experience what it's like being in that place. Cool. You messed up. I forgive you. But make sure that I'm never, ever, ever going back to that place, because something is totally wrong. It didn't make sense. This is not even about preference, like, I prefer the world to be like. This is about understanding, If a game is bad, a game is bad. I've also watched bad movies. If a movie is bad, it's bad movie. There are movies that I'll never ever watch again. But there are movies that I like watching, like The Book of Clarence. It's my favorite movie of 2024. I watch it a lot. Like, I'd say like almost every week. I don't watch the whole movie, but some scenes. Like, there's something about it. The soundtrack, I listen to the songs. Like, it's a beautiful movie. I just like it. But I don't like a lot of movies. People do recommend that I watch some movies. I don't even watch them. Like, it's rare for me to watch a movie. Even series. Like, the only reason why I watch the first episode of, I'm gonna watch all the episodes of Severance. But the reason why I watched it is because I liked the first season, and I was skeptical at first. I think someone spoke about it on TikTok. When was the first season? Maybe 2021. Someone spoke about it on TikTok, and I was like, oh, I need to check it out. Like, I like mind-bending movies, series. Like, I like, because I know reality itself is mind-bending. We have a lot of questions about this reality, and we don't have answers, and we're trying to like solve this puzzle. So that's why I like those kind of movies and those kind of series where people are trying to solve a puzzle, trying to figure out what is actually going on. So, but I don't really like watching stuff. Like, I like philosophizing now, because I feel like most of the movies that they make, even if they make mind-bending movies, but the concept, it's something that I have thought about. Unless someone makes the storyline is kind of like this, the storyline that I've watched that I've seen in other movies, unless they make a movie about solipsism, I would feel like that is interesting. Like, being in a world where you are really the only conscious being, and not knowing that you're the only conscious being, and you believe that everyone is real, but as you become more and more conscious, you start to notice some glitches, and you start to ask yourself some really, really deep questions, and you start to realize that you're actually the only one, and then you wake up. Like, a movie like that I would like to watch, or a movie where someone is having a psychedelic experience. Us as the viewers, you don't know that they're having a psychedelic experience, and then when the movie is almost over, that person wakes up and they're surrounded by their friends, and like, oh, it was all a dream. I would like to watch a movie like that. But other than that, a lot of movies suck these days, man. Movies were dope between 1990 and 2010. That's when they made the best movies. Now, I don't know. Even the music, I kind of feel like just a bunch of rehash shit now. Like, it's not easy to come across a song that is just dope, a song that truly speaks to your soul. It's not easy. A lot of songs are just the same. But yeah, Benedictine, the truth, didn't choose to be here. And I know because I don't remember choosing to be here. So if I woke up one day and I found out that it was a simulation, I wouldn't say I chose to be here. Because why the heck would I choose to forget? Because I know I wouldn't choose to forget. Like, this vision of me wouldn't choose to enter a simulation where I forget who I am. So this vision of me didn't choose this. So therefore, whoever chose this for me wasn't me. Maybe it's a lesser vision of me. Maybe I became more conscious and more powerful than the vision of me that chose to be here, if it did choose to be here. Because I think very rationally. But what I liked about the second season of Severance, even though I've only watched one episode, they're gonna drop other episodes soon, is that they did allow the Ainis to choose to go to go outside, and I thought that was interesting. Or to choose not to be there, or to choose to be to merge with their original consciousness, like at any time, meaning that it was a choice. But the reason why I think they chose to be there, and it's because maybe things have changed, but they're also trying to take down the company for some reason. But they still know, like now they have memories, but of their past, like they were able to go outside, so that's better. But if so, they chose, they I think they even remember choosing to be there, if I'm not mistaken. But that's better than if you just find yourself in a place you don't know why you chose to be in that place, and you have to discover why you chose to be in that place, but you don't even know if you chose to be in that place. So it's just a confusing experience, a very painful experience, and as a conscious being, that's not healthy for you. Besides, I don't think it's good to tell people they chose to be here. Some people have suffered for real, like they've really been through hell, and they didn't do anything to deserve that. We can say, hey, it's karma, but I've already explained to you that if I do something messed up and then in my next life I have to pay for it, the vision of me that's paying for it is not the vision of me that messed things up. You see? So there's something wrong with that. And also, if I'm not told why I'm experiencing something, then I'm not going to understand why I'm experiencing it, and so therefore I'm not going to learn anything. And that is a trap. Think about it. We're always going to fuck up. And you think about the concept of karma, it's really, really stupid. You're always going to fuck. There's no way that you're not going to fuck up as a human. So yes, I might repay my karmic debt now, but I'm still fucking up. So that means if I come back, I'm still going to be paying another debt and then fucking up again. It'll be like this credit thing, right? Like people who use credit all the time. It's like you're always going to be owing. So how do you set yourself free? Because as long as you're alive, you're going to be fucking up. So how? Like that's what I'm saying. To get to the truth, you need to think. It's only through philosophy. People can tell you about karmic debt and all that, but if you think rationally, you'll see that it's all BS. People can tell you you chose to be here, but if you think rationally, you will realize that it's all BS. People can tell you they're channeling some aliens and they're telling them this and that, and you think about it, you can see that it's all BS. Even if they're channeling these aliens, but look at what they are telling you, these aliens. Like, what are they really telling you that's actually important, that actually frees you? Right? They're not really telling you much. Law of attraction. Like, first of all, people want good things to happen in their lives, and they do what it takes, why should it rely on the law of attraction? What is, it's like, it's a trap, because people who experience a lot of negative things are gonna have negative thoughts. So, and we're not even trained, right? It's not like they train us on how to live. So if they give you a plane and they didn't train you how to fly a plane, and you just do whatever, probably not gonna learn how to fly a plane. Like, we need to train us. Like, yeah, like, we need to know that for real, that it's, law of attraction works. It shouldn't be something that we're assuming, because in a realm like this, you can be told anything. Like prayer, they can say that prayer works. You pray your whole life and nothing happens. Because if prayer works, you must see amputees getting healed. That's when we'll know that, yeah. But things just happen. You pray your whole life trying to get something. You pray, and then one day you get it, and you'll be like, oh, it was the prayer. It's like, no. There are people who don't pray, you got what they wanted. There are things that I got that I wanted. Things that I got this year that I wanted. I didn't pray for these things. Things that I got last year that I wanted, I didn't pray for these things. Not even once. So it seems to me that things just happen. So we need to be wise, and we need to be as honest with ourselves as possible. Save ourselves from all these lies, and try to figure out how to evolve. How to truly free ourselves. That matters. So thank you all, guys.